Afternoon baseball is next. And a good afternoon, everybody. We'd like to welcome you into our proud broadcast of Texas League Baseball. And now here is the star of the show, the one, the only, John Baker. Well, thank you, Bob, and a happy Sunday, everybody. We welcome you to Game 6 of our 6-game set between the visiting Corpus Christi Hooks and your San Antonio Missions. Well, today is Park in the Park here at the ballpark. So far, dogs are getting in and kids as well as they get ready to have a pretty good one after the end of this game because we definitely get to run the bases right after that. If dogs get on the field, make sure they are on a leash. Make sure that the kids and everybody can participate right there at the first base gate after this one. San Antonio heads to Wichita in a 6-game set starting this next week on Tuesday, June 2nd through the 7th. And then the Frisco Rough Riders will be in San Antonio the 9th through the 14th, taking on the San Antonio Missions. Go online now at samissions.com, purchase and print your tickets from home. Also, download Bally Live. It's free. Don't have to pay anything out of pocket. Just download it. Watch your favorite teams on the go. And so far, also download YouTube Live as well. Make sure you do that too. Well, anyway, joined in the booth by my partner and friend Bob. How are you doing, Bob?
Doing good, John. How are you?
Doing all right. Well, happy Sunday to you, and see you brought your dogs and got your lovely wife Ann with you. How you doing, Ann? Well, I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing good. Well, it's good to see you, and so far you looking good. Hope you had a pretty good Mother's Day. And well, so far Mother's Day was about 5 or 6 weeks ago, but most evidently, I do believe that you're doing pretty good, right? I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking. Well, good. Well, anyway, as we get going in this broadcast, we're going to go ahead and get into the pregame show of our San Antonio Missions from last night's ball game. And so far, the final score 2-1 as Missions win it in extra innings. Second time in the week that they won it through extra innings was really good.
Yeah, I got to say, John, it was a pretty good ball game, and thus far, it was a real good ball game.
Couldn't agree it better myself there, Bob, but most evidently, there was a lot of fans that enjoyed last night, the post-game fireworks, which every Saturday night we have had, but we thank Mother Nature for sending us a little bit of rain last night, which that was really unreal, but evidently we had some light rain coming down. We had a well-hazed moon and stuff, which that was pretty good. But so far, got to say, it was a pretty good night last night, but today we have our final game of this 6-game set. Our temperature today, 85 degrees. It will be humid and sun and clouds mixed as we get going for the final game of our 6-game set here today. Well, we are going to talk about the weather, and I will say that thunderstorms will be back in the forecast as we are up in Wichita, but we'll look at San Antonio as we go through today. Our high temperature, 88 degrees, which the temperature is 85 and humid. So make sure that if you are out in this ball game that you stay hydrated, that you wear light, loose clothing, and so far, make sure that you're staying hydrated as we go through today. Anyway, tomorrow, 91 degrees in San Antonio as we start the first day of June. And got to say, I can't believe it, Bob, but we are halfway through the year. And I got to say, it's just been one of them things that all of us are looking at. And so far as we get into Tuesday, the chances of rain will slowly creep into San Antonio. And we'll say the second we are not in San Antonio, we're in Wichita. But most evidently, fans are showing me the weather forecast as we're here in the booth. And so far, 50% chance on Wednesday, 60 to 70 by Thursday. And Friday is a 76% chance. Boy, I tell you, I think Mother Nature is going to come down hard on San Antonio as we get into the 6th month of 2026. And gotta say, it's going to be one of them things. But we look at Wichita and gotta say, on Tuesday we'll see partly cloudy skies, a stray shower or thunderstorm possible as we start up game 1 of 6 against the visiting San Antonio Missions, taking on the Wichita Wind Surge. Don't forget cloudy skies with a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm possible with high 83. And then Wednesday night, partly to mostly cloudy with a low of 66. Rain chances will creep in on Thursday with thunderstorms developing later in the day. Chance of rain, 60% chance in Wichita. And then variable clouds with thunderstorms, especially overnight, with a chance of rain of 60%. We'll have a rainy day on Friday. It looks thunderstorms will be going nonstop on Friday. And then thunderstorms likely Friday night going into Saturday. Saturday morning, thunderstorms will continue onward, mainly cloudy during the afternoon with thunderstorms likely. A few storms may be severe as we go through both Friday and Saturday. And then Saturday night, thunderstorms likely with a chance of scattered storms later on. And then thunderstorms, well, mixed clouds and sun as we get ready to wrap up our last ever game at Wichita. And so far, pretty good on that. A lot of rain in the forecast as we all see. But most definitely we're keeping eyes and ears on the weather as we get going for our Kansas trip up in Wichita. Well, anyway, we'll take you downstairs as we conclude the pregame show. And so far, if I didn't say that San Antonio took the game last night, the final 2-1. Well, anyway, about set to go for the top half of the first inning here in San Antonio. Nelson Wolff Stadium, a beautiful stadium for all of us as we get ready to go. We've got to say, sun and clouds mix. The sun coming out on Sunday afternoon. And so far, our starter is a right-hander, Miguel Mendez, as he'll get the call for San Antonio. It's a four-seam slider, a changeup, and a two-seam fastball getting ready to go for the Missions. Second baseman Riley Unroe getting set to go as we lead off the top of the first inning for Corpus Christi. And away we are as the first pitch in for a strike, and we are 1:05 here this afternoon getting underway for the ball game. The 0-1 swing and a miss, and it's the count now 0-2. Give you ball clubs this afternoon. We have 8 of them playing today. Northwest Arkansas at Tulsa, Amarillo at Midland, Corpus Christi at San Antonio, and Frisco and Arkansas going head-to-head. And now we get a pitch clock violation as the count now 1-2. Wichita and Springfield will start later this afternoon, 4:35, the first pitch. And right there is a swing and a miss to get him down for out number 1. And with that, let's give the Corpus Christi starting lineups. Unroe, Spence, and Flores will lead it off. Austin, Baez, and Whitaker middle. Pratt, Powell, and Janek will round it out for Corpus Christi. And so far, a pretty good one as we get going. Lucas Spence getting ready to go. Here's the windup and the pitch, swing and a miss, and the count now 0-1. I've got to say, a hot, humid afternoon here today. Make sure you're staying hydrated, drinking plenty of water. We do have water bottles for at least $3 there at the concession stands, which that's always good. And so far, just getting in and staying in this nice air-conditioned booth. And right there is out number 2, as that will be the second strikeout for Miguel Mendez. Wind up and a pitch. That is in for a strike, and the count now 0-1 to the first baseman here, Arturo Flores. He's getting going here for Corpus Christi. Hook fans, you are in for a real treat, as your team will be back home to take on the Arkansas Travelers there at Bayfront Park. So far, with San Antonio being in Wichita, Arkansas will head to Corpus Christi. Tulsa heads to Amarillo. Midland heads to Northwest Arkansas. And Frisco heads to Springfield. Or actually, never mind. Springfield heads to Frisco. Sorry for the misconfusion right there. But no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for Corpus Christi. We head now to the bottom half of the first inning. It's no score through 1.5. Well, a right-hander, Cody Bolton, will get the start. As we look at the ERA, 13.50 with a strikeout rate of 10%, 286 over a .667. As he'll get his starter on the mound for Corpus Christi. Shortstop Clay Duncan getting ready to go. And so far, boy, the sun and clouds mixed here today. And that one is outside, and we are underway. The bottom of the first for San Antonio. 1 ball, no strikes to leadoff batter, Clay Duncan. Boy, a pretty good game there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there at DCJ Field. Boy, the Drillers having a pretty good lead against the Naturals. It's 7-1. Bottom of the 5th inning there. And a pitch. That one is outside. The count now 2-1. And so far with the clouds, it will provide instant shade. And that's going to be right there. Liner straightaway center through for a hit. Boy, pretty good right there as he just crushes that one and puts it right there. Boy, what a pretty good hit of play that was by the shortstop Clay Duncan. Well, that'll bring in Kai Roberts. Bark in the Park Sunday. Make sure that after the ball game that you and the kids, or all the kids, can run the bases for free. Let's get down to the first base area and wait for instruction, as our ground staff will instruct you to go through one at a time, run the bases, and also the dogs can run. Just make sure that they are on a leash. That is part of the leash law. That way, you know, it's kind of like walking your dog. When you go out on a walk, so you got to make sure that they are on the leash. And so far, you know, if you were caught without a leash, then it's a $200 fine. So make sure you don't get into a situation where you're caught. But make sure that you have them on the leash. You don't chase the other dogs around or cause mayhem or whatever. But you know how those stories turn out to be when a dog goes loose and all that. Well, San Antonio lineups, Duncan, Roberts, and Salas will lead it off. Sanabria, Carpathios, Fabian middle. Verdugo, Murphy, and Castagnone will wrap it up here for San Antonio. The catcher is Ethan Salas, as he'll take that one down and in. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, sun and clouds mixed on a Sunday afternoon, which we really love. Been a nice, relaxing weekend. Just getting going here at the ballpark, and we enjoyed our weekend here in the San Antonio Missions Ballpark at Wolf Stadium. That one is high fly in the air, straightaway center field, and that is out number 2. But most evidently, we'll be back on Tuesday, June 9th, taking on the visiting Frisco Rough Riders. Romeo Sanabria, the first baseman, coming in for San Antonio. I was going to say Corpus Christi. Why would Sanabria be on a team like that? Maybe if they drafted him to the free agency zone, and maybe he would probably be on there, but he'd be for the Padres organization because that's where they have him. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on for San Antonio. Top of the second inning coming up, and it is no score through 1. Hot corner third baseman Trevor Austin getting set to go as we lead it off here. And that's going to be right there. Liner straight away up the right field in front of Carpathios. And that is a no-out single for Trevor Austin. 5-hole batter Luis Baez getting ready to go. We'll take that one high fly in the air straight away. Castañon has eyes on it, makes a play, and that is out number 1. I tell you one thing there, John, it gets pretty interesting when you look at these prospects and you see how they can get a ball in play. But that's putting that baseball bat right to the baseball itself and getting that line drive right at the end. That is for sure there, Bob. You tell a good history lesson. And right there, the count now, 0-1. I bet you Babe Ruth was really good when he was in a minor league and then got drafted into a major league farm system. And that one is right there, the count now at 0-2. But to tell you one thing, we'll go ahead and give you some baseball basics as we get going here.
That's a balk.
And they're going to call a balk right there, and that will put the runner there at first to second. And so far, a pretty good one in this one. But you look at Babe Ruth. He was born February 6, 1895. And died on August 16, 1948. He was an American professional baseball player whose career in Major League Baseball spanned 22 seasons from 1914 through 1935. Nicknamed the Bambino and the Sultan of SWAT. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. He began his MLB career as a star left-handed pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, but achieved his greatest fame as a slugging outfielder for the New York Yankees.
Nope, that's a ball.
That's the count now, 1-1 strike to Carneal Pratt. Ruth is regarded as one of the greatest sports heroes in American culture and is considered by many to be the greatest baseball player of all time. But evidently now an E6 for San Antonio, as that will come in first and third. In 1936, Ruth was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Members. At age 7, Ruth was sent to St. Mary's Industrial School for Boys. In 1914, Ruth was signed to play in the minors, but most evidently pretty good on that one. But now we go into the bottom half of the second inning, first and third. So no runs on a hit, no one error for San Antonio as we head for the bottom of the second inning. It is no score through 2.5. Braden Carpathios coming in now. 5-6-7 due up against the starter, Cody Bolton. Yes, here's the pitch, and that one is outside. The count now at 1-1. Well, Ruth was signed to play a minor league baseball for the Baltimore Orioles, but was soon sold to the Red Sox by 1960. He had a built reputation as an outstanding pitcher who sometimes hit long home runs, a feat unusual for any player in the dead ball era. Although Ruth twice won 23 games in a season as a pitcher and was a member of 3 World Series championships teams with the Red Sox. Boy, pretty good in a baseball career for Babe Ruth.
Yeah, he was a living legend when it came to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Man, he sure was. And do you remember that movie called The Sandlot?
Oh, yeah, I remember
The Sandlot. Well, 2 down as Fabian goes down on strikes. Here's the third baseman, Rosemond Verdugo. Boy, his hometown was Baltimore, Maryland. He died in New York City at the age of 53. He first started July 11th, 1914 for the Boston Red Sox. By May 30th of 1935, he was for the Boston Braves. Batting average .342. He had 2,873 hits, 714 home runs, runs batted in 2,214, a slugging percentage .690. Win and loss record 94 over a 46, a earned run average 2.28, strikeouts of 488. So pretty good for Babe Ruth. He was a legend. Right there, and the count now 3-2 as that will go foul. But anyway, yes, we do learn the history of Babe Ruth. And yes, he was mentioned in the Sandlot movie, which that was pretty good. Right there, liner straightaway single. And that is a 2-out single for Verdugo. So far, pretty good on top of that. The 8-hole batter, Kai Murphy, coming in now for San Antonio. And that one is outside. The count now is 1 ball and no strikes to the left fielder. But hopefully everybody took notes on what all I said about Babe Ruth. And so far, born on February 6, 1895, and died on August 16, 1948, at the age of 53. 53 years old. Pretty young age on that one, and that's going to be right there. Liner straight away, and that is through for a hit. And San Antonio getting their 3rd hit of the ball game. Now that'll bring in Marcos Castañon. Castañon coming in, and that's a sinker downstairs. The count now 0-1. But so far, a pretty good living legend that will always be in the Major League Hall of Fame is Babe Ruth. But even though we look at Don Drysdale, who was number 53, that's where Herbie got his number from. Red, white, and blue racing stripes, which that was pretty good. Just absolutely love that Disney movie. Now that was a Disney film. Herbie the Love Bug, Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, and Herbie Rides Again, and Herbie Goes Bananas. So no runs on 1 hit, and 1 error for San Antonio as we head for the 3rd. No score through 2. Top of the 3rd inning. Here is Walker Janek here. We welcome you back to the live stream here on this Sunday afternoon. Bob and Ann with me here at the ballpark. Here in the booth. Say hello. 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 There's the 0-1, and that's going to be right there. Ground ball straight away. Sanabria takes it himself. No help needed on that ball, as that will be out number 1. Corpus Christi, second baseman, and leadoff batter Riley Unroe get things started. As that's in for a strike, the count now at 0-1. Well, if you are out now watching Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu, that's good. But also note to self that a Star Wars project will come to Baker J Studios in 2027. Boy, and I tell you one thing, you already mentioned that on May the 4th, 2027, which that is Star Wars Day, you're going to be releasing a project of some sort. Did I hear that right? Yeah, honey. He said it himself that there's going to be a project coming out on the 4th. Yep. And it's going to be pretty good. It's going to tell a story of, well, I shouldn't even say, because if I did say something, that would probably ruin the surprise, and everybody loves surprises. You know how that is. Yeah, you're right there, John. Yeah, well, that's right there. It's through for a center field base hit. Anyway, 1 out, 2 out single continues onward, and look like those two, Sanabria and Lucas Spence, know each other, and I bet they've been high school friends for a long time.
Ball inside.
And that one is right there. The count now 1-0 is 0 for 1, a strikeout by Flores here today. Here's a 1-0 delivery, and that's going to be high fly in the air. And that will get down foul. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that's going to get down. Liner straight away, and that is through for a hit. So 2 aboard now after now 2 outs. But anyway, a pretty good sign right there as he gets going. But boy, I tell you one thing, it's just really good when we all see some things like this continue onward. Here's Trevor Austin now as he comes in for a strike. The count now at 0-1 is 1 for 1 single. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that is in for a strike, and the count now at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And that's going to be a ground ball, and that's going to get through for a hit. And Corpus Christi is going to score in their first run on the RBI single by Trevor Austin. So far, a pretty good one as we look down at the behind the plate camera, and got to say, that was a pretty good base hit as we all look at it. Well, leading it off is Luis Baez as he come in and takes that one in for a cold strike. It's 0-1 to the right fielder here today. Baez coming in from the windup and the stretch, and that's going to be right there. Liner straight away up through for a base hit. And Corpus Christi now leading by 2. It's 2-0 Hooks. Boy, pretty good thing when you see something like that you can literally get going on that. But most evidently, just a really good hit. Here's Ty Whitaker. Whitaker coming in, hits that one high in the air straight away. And the right fielder, Carpathios, will shut the inning down, as that will do for the inning. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left on for Corpus Christi. We now head for the bottom half of the third inning. Hooks out in front by 2-0.
Leading off, the shortstop.
Shortstop Clay Dungan getting set to go as we get going here in the bottom of the third on this Sunday afternoon. So far, just a pretty good day today, and all knowingly a road trip coming for San Antonio. It's up going to Wichita. That one high in the air, straight away up to the left field area as that's out number 1. You know, I like the Porch Ballpark. It's really good. Home of the Wichita Wind Surge in the show. I want to tell you one thing, just a really good place for Wichita to play their home games in. And anyway, right there through, and that is out number 2. Boy, and the catcher number 90 coming in, that is Ethan Salas. Is getting set to go here for this half inning. Salas is 0 for 1 of the ball game here today. And that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Boy, clouds really looking good. Not raining them, but we're definitely keeping eyes on them. 1 ball and 1 strike the count now. But most evidently keeping close eyes on everything as we go through this next week in Wichita, and so far through the weeks that we do have baseball. And right there, swing and a miss, and that would do. Blew it right by him, and he struck him out right there as the swing and a miss comes in that one. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio as we head for the 4th inning, and Corpus Christi leading at 2-0. Carneal Pratt will lead it off for the Hooks when we come back. We're about set to go for the top of the fourth, right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, welcome you back to today's broadcast as a liner drops in for a base hit. Is underway at the top half of the fourth inning for Corpus Christi as now the base hit gets into seventh hole hitter Carneal Pratt now at first. Here's 8-hole batter Caden Cowell as he comes in. Will take a strike inside. It's the count now 0-1. Hope everybody's having an enjoyable weekend thus far. And so far nice and relaxing as we get into this one. And that one's going to be right there now to play. The count now 0-2. And that's going to be right there. Liner straight away up to the left field area. And that is going to be in through for a hit. Man, just tell you one thing there, John. Getting pretty interesting when we all look at it. But definitely just keeping close tabs on the starter here today for Mendez. That is for sure. Now 1 ball and no strikes as first and second. Nobody out here in the half inning. In the fourth, just getting going. Corpus Christi seeking revenge after last night's loss. And that one is in for a strike. It's the count now at 1-1. One ball, one strike, the count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a balk, second and third now. Boy, not something you want to see, but now 1-1 the count now with scores in scoring position now. That one fouled off and still hanging on. Here's the count now. I'll tell you one thing, Tulsa now, top of the seventh inning, 9-4 lead against Northwest Arkansas. And that's going to be high flying in the air. Left fielder Kai Murphy comes in, and here comes the run, is in to score. The sacrifice fly to left field. Corpus Christi now leading 3-0 against San Antonio. And here is second baseman Riley Unroe again coming up to the plate. Boy, we've been seeing him a lot through this ball game. This is his fourth appearance coming in for Corpus Christi. That one is high flying in the air. And couldn't get there as that will land out of touch. We do have a final from Midland. Rockhounds beat the Sod Poodles. Final score 2-1. Rockhounds will take the finale of the 6 games there in Midland. Frisco now 2-1 against Arkansas. Corpus Christi 3-0 against San Antonio. Boy, tell you one thing, it's a pretty good ball game here in San Antonio, and I want to say it's just awfully nice to see a lot of things come in and out here in the ball game, especially those base hits as well. Lucas Spence coming in as he'll take a strike inside. As the count now 0-1 is 1 for 2 single on a run here today for Corpus Christi. Spence batting .206 average of 1 for 2. And he swings and misses at that one, and it's the count now at 0-2. 3-0 Hooks here in the top of the fourth inning here on this Sunday afternoon ball game. And that's going to be right there up to right field, and that will get through as Lucas Spence gets in for the RBI single. And now another run coming in across the score. And now Corpus Christi up 4-0. Arturo Flores coming in as 1 for 2. Getting ready to go. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be high flying in the air out of play. And the count now at 0-1. 1 for 2 single today and a run. coming in for the Corpus Christi Hooks. The 0-1, and that one fouled in the way, and the count now 0-2. After this ball game, Corpus Christi and San Antonio will only have 9 more meetups to do. So far, after that, that will be finished. We'll have a 6 games there at Bayfront Park, and that's the only 6 that we're getting, starting on Tuesday, June 16th through the 21st, and then starting our next 6 on the road as we head to Arkansas on the 23rd through the 28th. And so far, pretty good on that. But a couple runs in the score, and so far, just a pretty good one. Well, we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Corpus Christi leading it 4-0. First baseman Romeo Sanabria getting things ready to go as we lead it off here in the bottom half of the 4th inning here in San Antonio. And to pitch, that one's right there and found. The count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to the count, and here's the pitch. And that's going to be a liner straight away. Cannot catch up with it. And that's going to get in for an infield single.
Now batting, right fielder.
Boy, pretty good right there on that infield single there, John. He really tried to get him, but couldn't catch up with it. That is for sure there, Bob.
Ball that's outside.
Sinker is outside. As the count now 1-0 is 0 for 1 strikeout is Carpathios. Right field here for San Antonio today. Well, Hook fans are in for a real treat as the Arkansas Travelers will be in town on Tuesday, June 9th through the 14th. Don't forget Springfield at Frisco. So it'll be a 5-on-5 South and North Division rivalry matchup. And all 5 North and South Division teams will converge against each other. And that's going to be right there. And that's going to land right through for a hit. And first and second now, still nobody else. So a good way to get things going right here and now. Even for San Antonio in this one. Starting to see some cloud cover, right, Bob?
Oh, yeah. We're definitely seeing some cloud cover.
And that one's going to be outside as the count now 1-0. Just a nice afternoon for this ball game, and sun and clouds mixed, and so far nice to see the shade just come right on in. That one's going to be pelted deep to right field, and it is gone! Home run by Fabian, first of today. And the home crowd going crazy. And gotta say, that was a pretty good base hit, if you know what I mean there, Bob.
Yeah, I gotta say, that was a pretty good one. And it really got the fans going in this one.
Here's Rosemond for Gugo as he comes in as 1-for-1 single here today. And a pitch. Right there, ground ball straight away. And that is 1 down. Boy, 3 runs on a hit for the 6-hole batter. And boy, tell you one thing, that San Antonio mission right there, they hit the 3-run in right field. Gets the golden chain as he gets in that dugout. They're pretty good on there. 1 ball and no strikes to count now on that one. Do have activity in the bullpen as we get started with that. And right there, the count now at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike to the count now for Kai Murphy. Swing and a miss. The count now at 1-2. Bottom of 4 here today with Corpus Christi in the lead, 4-3 against San Antonio. And right there, a called third strike, as that is out number 2. 5th of the day by Cody Bolton. Boy, 50% is that sinker. And so far, pretty good here today for the Missions. Here is Marcos Castañon, who's 0 for 1. 53 pitches now for Cody Bolton as he comes in. We're getting things going. Here's the pitch to him, and that's going to be foul. And the count now at 0-2. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's going to be ground ball straightaway third. Threw it first in time, and that will be a 1-2-3. But Albert Fabian getting a 3-run shot to right field, and he crushes it right there and then. And we head to the 5th inning. Corpus Christi on front by 1. It's 4-3. Third baseman Trevor Austin coming in, 2 for 2, 2 singles and RBI here as we lead off the 5th for Corpus Christi. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. Now at 53 pitches for Miguel Mendez. 53, always a lucky number as we all see it. It's also Herbie, if everybody knows that 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. Just a pretty nice looking Volkswagen. Bob, you told me you had one? Yeah, it was me and my wife. We had our Volkswagens way back then, right, hon? Oh yeah, we had them, and mine was a light blue, and yours was the white one, remember? Oh yeah, I remember. It was a pretty good car. I really liked that car. It was very nice. No balls and 2 strikes. And right there, and now for out number 1. And for Miguel Mendez, as a 4-seam fastball, 79% of his pitches, but only given up 8 hits today for San Antonio. Right fielder Luis Baez coming in as 1 for 2 and RBI. 4-3 is our score here at Wolf Stadium today. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there. And that to the shortstop, to Sanabria will make the play, and that is out number 2. Corpus Christi designated hitter Ty Whitaker coming in, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Nine games left with these two ball clubs for this year. San Antonio heads to Bayfront Park, at least a 6-game set only this year. 3 more in San Antonio. Starting the second half, I should say. Here's the 0-2, and that one is out of play, foul. Still hanging on, and the count now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes right there. Called third strike, and they got him. Pretty much that will end the half inning as we now head for the bottom of the 5th. And it's 4-3. Trey Dombrowski coming in now as a left-hander as he gets ready to start the relief process for Corpus Christi. 4-seam, a curveball, and so far many others as well, but curveball, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball getting in for the Corpus Christi reliever, and that's going to be an in for a strike. The count now at 0-1. Boy, clouds and sun. Boy, that is the second time we're seeing shade come across the baseball park here in San Antonio, and gotta absolutely love how things are turning out to be here today. Clouds and sun, really love it. It makes a great spectacle of things. And right there, that is out number 1 as That will be the first strikeout.
Number 2.
Center fielder Kai Roberts coming in is 0 for 2 with strikeout and a ground out. Evidently, things can easily get better if San Antonio could get some runs in to score, but still a long way in this one as we all look at it. All overturned is now the count now 0-1 on that one. Roberts coming in. Here's the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now at 0-2. That one high and outside is the count now 1-2. Boy, Tulsa leading Northwest Arkansas 10-4. Top of the 8th inning. Top of the 9th. It's the Frisco Rough Riders there at All-American Ballpark
Ball 3.
today taking on the Arkansas Travelers. Ethan Salas coming up now as he'll take that one in for route number 2.
Number 90.
And that's going to bring in the catcher, Ethan Salas. 0 for 2 with strikeout and a flyout. Pretty good right there. 4-3 your score here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that's going to be right there. Ground ball straight away short in for the infield single. Boy, now the tying run just getting out there at first base. And the pitch is right there and in for a cold strike. It's the count now at 0-1. No balls and 1 strike the count now here for Romeo Sanabria as he gets in. And here's the pitch. And that one is fouled in the way. The count now at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be right there up to the third baseman. And that ends the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left for San Antonio as we head to the 6th inning. And it is a 4-3 ball game for Corpus Christi. About halfway through the broadcast today on this Sunday afternoon as we give you the halfway play-by-play. And so far, got to say, it's just been one heck of a day here today, but not even halfway through it, but most evidently, we're having fun here at the ballpark. Corpus Christi 4, San Antonio 3.
Leading off.
As we get things going for the top half of the 6th inning. About 4 more innings to do here today, and so far homestand nearly getting ready to come to a close this week, and then Corpus Christi will go their way and San Antonio going their own way. Corpus Christi will head home to take on the Arkansas Travelers, and San Antonio heads to Wichita to take on the Wind Surge next week. Springfield heading to Frisco. Amarillo heading to, actually Tulsa headed to Amarillo. And then Midland heading to Northwest Arkansas. That's right there, intercepted by the shortstop. Throw down to first in time. And that is out number 1 for Sanabria, getting the man out at first. Boy, pretty good ball game here today there, John. But now 4-3 score, and does any more home runs come in here? Well, I don't know, Bob. We'll have to look. But Caden Cowell coming in as he'll take that one in for a strike. And the count now at 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there. Liner straight away. And that will go out number 2.
Now batting, catcher, number 84.
And here's the catcher, Walker Janek, as he comes in as 0 for 1 to sacrifice RBI. Pretty good day here today for Corpus Christi if they can take the win on the road and keep the win streak alive after the win here in San Antonio. But this game's still far from being called. The count now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count now here in this one. And the pitch is right there. Swing and a miss. They got him. Blew it right by him, and that is how the half inning comes to an end. So Carpathios, Fabian, and Vertigo will get things ready to go. Middle to end of the lineup will get going for the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Right fielder, number 22.
Right fielder, Braden Carpathios coming in as we set the go. Bottom of the 6th, 5, 6, 7 due up here for San Antonio. Carlson and Maldonado coming in, 2 right-handers getting loose in the bullpen. I'll say pretty good as we get going here this afternoon, and that one is going to be outside. The count now 1-1. Swing and a miss. The count now is 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a swing and a miss down in the dirt. And they got him by the footstep. And they tried to beat it out, but still nothing doing on that one as they get Carpathios there at first. Boy, to tell you one thing, that is just rough around the edges. You know, you get that ball in the dirt, and it gets away, but knowing they get you out at first, that's just a real cactus up the rear end. Ouch. You don't have to remind me about the cactus, okay? Just kidding. 1 for 2, 3-run shot by Albert Fabian in the 4th inning. Boy, I tell you what, they just rough around the edges. And that one's going to be right there. Liner straightaway up the right center field, through for a base hit. Runner Fabian is going for second, and he's going to have a 1-out double for him. And that's why we have Whataburger serving hot and fresh 24/7 in this state of affair here for San Antonio. And gotta say, it's always a good thing when we see the Missions getting a 2-run or even a 1-out, 2-out double. That one's right there, and that's going to be line drive, and that's through for a hit. And San Antonio getting up in there, and they got him out at second, and that's a pickoff as a run is in to score. Now it's a 4-4 tie. Guy Murphy coming in as that one is outside. It's the count now 1-0. 1 for 2, a single to the left fielder here today. Well, I tell you one thing, John. A lot of sun and clouds, and I gotta say, just a pretty good one here. Well, don't you just like it when we have the shade and clouds and sun being mixed in? It's kind of pretty good. Here's the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. The count now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now, and that will do it. As now run in to score for San Antonio on a hit. And so far, just a pretty good one as we head now to the top half of the 7th inning. It's tied 4-4.
Leading things off,
Second baseman Riley Unroe coming in as we lead off the top half of the 7th inning for Corpus Christi. The first pitch has been thrown by Miguel Mendez as that is out of play. Count now 0-1. Manager out of the dugout, and so far that will do for Mendez as now they're going to take him out of this ball game, and so far that will pretty much do for Mendez. And by the manager, he is out of this game, but could be in line for a nail, a no decision, or a W, but we'll see what happens in this one. San Antonio right-hander Dyson Acosta will get things started in relief. Sinker, slider, and a changeup. 3 pitches to choose from as we get going here for San Antonio. 4-4 ball game as Riley Unroe gets in and hits that one high in the air to the shortstop. And that is a quick out, number 1.
Now batting, center fielder, number 89.
Well, that'll bring in center fielder Lucas Spence. 2 for 3, 2 singles. Getting ready to go. Here's the pitch to him, and that one is out of play, foul. The count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be out of play, and count now 0-2. Here's the 0-2. And that is going to be right there, out of play, foul. And the count now 0-2. The pitch.
Ball.
That one's downstairs. Count now 1-2. 2 for 3 to Lucas Spence as he comes in. 4-4 tie. Top of the 7th inning here in San Antonio, Texas. That one is outside the play for the ball. The count now 2-2. Here's the pitch. And that one fouled off. The count still hanging on. Two and two. Here's the pitch. Here's the pitch. And right there, high in the air, and that is going to drift out of play, foul. 5/9 of a foot outside the foul pole. Boy, that one nearly getting out of here for Corpus Christi, and that one is still fighting in. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be right there, liner straight away, and that is through for a hit. It'll run all the way to the wall, and now going to second is the Lucas Spence on a 1-out double. Boy, tell you one thing, pretty good as they continue to get something going here. In now is Arturo Flores as he gets going. And the pitch, and that one is out in play, and the count now 0-1. 1 for 3, single and a run by Flores here today. And the 0-1 delivery, and that is outside. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's going to get down. Liner straight away through for a hit. And Corpus Christi will take back the lead. It's now 5-4 here in this one. Well, so far, Midland tying up against the Frisco Rough Riders, now 24 even. Amarillo now 25 even with their win and losses. Here is Trevor Austin as he comes in. Will take that one inside for a strike. And the count now at 0-1. Midland and Amarillo, the first 2 teams done today. So far, a pretty good one is getting going. 87 degrees and partly cloudy conditions as we go through the rest of this afternoon. The 0-2. One high flying in the air straight away. And that is out number 2 on that one. The homestand is just probably 30 minutes to an hour away from ending now. Here is the Luis Baez, right fielder, 1 for 3 RBI single in the 3rd. You got a lot of kids out of school, and so far just good to bring the kids to the ball game. And so far, if you bring them every day, that's pretty good. But anyway, as we all say, that June 9th will be the start of our sign up for kids camp here at the ballpark, so kids can come in and have themselves a good time camping and camping out on the baseball field while San Antonio is away. Parents can come in too. Ground staff as well coming in. Counting out 2-1, but there's always going to be security around. Right there to third, flip across to first, and in time to Sanabria for the out, and that will do it. One more seventh inning stretch here at the ball game as Corpus Christi gets a run on a couple of hits. No errors and 2 left on as we head for the bottom of the 7th when we come back. Well, we go ahead for the bottom of the 7th inning as we get things started here in the Missions Baseball Network. Well, hope you've enjoyed your seventh inning stretch, but now it's time to get back to the ballpark, and John Baker, take it away here in this one. Marcos Castañon getting set to go as we lead off the bottom of the seventh inning. 9-1-2 due up against for San Antonio. The reliever Trey Dabrowski coming in. Take that one in for a cold strike. Gets the count now at 1 ball and no strikes. That one the count now 2-0, but they will contest that one. And, well, they're going to overturn it. So now it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 0 for 2 is Castañon here today. And that is right there up the right roof for a hit. Boy, Castañon getting up there and making something happen here today. That'll bring up the shortstop Clay Dungan as he comes in. Ready to go here this afternoon, and that is going to be in for a strike. And the count now 0-1. 1 for 3 single for Dungan here today. I'll tell you one thing, just pretty good here for Corpus Christi. They lead by a run against San Antonio. Hook fans are really keeping on the edge of their seats here today as watching this ball game at their ballpark. They're at Bayfront. That one fouled in the way. The count now 0-2. Corpus Christi taking on Arkansas Tuesday. They're at Bayfront Park in Corpus Christi, Texas. San Antonio and Wichita, Springfield and Frisco. Midland at Northwest Arkansas, Tulsa at Amarillo. I don't know why I say Amarillo's gone out of town, but the other way around, Tulsa at Amarillo. But anyway, that one does a high pop-up straight away. And Springfield at Frisco. So 5-on-5 North versus South rivalry divisions coming in. It's getting going here for next week. Here's Ethan Salas to come in, and that one is out of play, found. The count now 0-1. That one fouled off, and the count now 0-2. On 2 one more time, and that is going to get fouled off. And the pitch. And that's right there, straight away. And they'll throw him out at first in time, and that's the inning. So, no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left on for San Antonio. And we're to the 8th inning. Corpus Christi leading by 1. It's 5-4.
Leading off, the designated hitter.
Designated hitter Ty Whitaker coming in now as we lead off the 8th inning for Corpus Christi. And that pitch is inside for a strike. The count now 0-1 as we're down to the final 2 innings of the homestand. And that one is fouled off, and the count now 0-2. Missions have to get on the road to Wichita, Kansas right after this one. And that will be the first out of the inning as that one blowed right by him. And that is for out number 1. And here he is, Carneal Pratt, 1 for 3 of today's game. No balls and 1 strike to count. 1 for 3 single by Pratt here in this one. And that's a liner straight away to left field, through for a hit.
Now batting, shortstop, number 3.
That'll bring up Caden Powell as he comes in. And that's going to be right there. The second for one. Taco Bell double play. Get them both, and that ends the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on. And boy, you see the high fives right there from shortstop. Clay Dungan giving that one to Marcos Castañon. And flip it across straight to Sanabria making the play. Sam Carlson will lead it off as the new Corpus Christi Hooks reliever as we get things going for the bottom of the 8th inning when we come back. About set to go for the bottom half of the 8th inning. Right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Sam Carlson, a right-hander, getting started here for Corpus Christi. He'll lead off in the relief spot. Romeo Sanabria, the first baseman, 1-for-3 single, getting set to go here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Missions down, final 6 outs here on this Sunday afternoon. And that one's going to be pelted high in the air, straight away, up to right center field. And that is gone. Sanabria puts it out of reach. And that will again tie us up.
Well, it's good to see some baseball here in San Antonio, and so far Hooks and San Antonio Missions here today. Boy, just a pretty good shot right there, as that was pretty much out the baseball park on that one.
I got to agree there, Bob. Braden Carpathios, the next batter up. I'll take that one outside. It's counting now 1-0. I'll tell you one thing, next week it will be about 5 of them days there in Wichita that we're looking for thunderstorm activity to roll back in. But evidently, if we do not get on the air there in Wichita, it means that we are not playing baseball or anything else like that. It means that we might be going through a rain delay, severe weather of any sort. But we'll keep you all informed of any major developments going through next week in Wichita. Well, a right-hander. 2 right-handers coming in. That is Murray and Baldado coming in. And the pitch, that is right there up to the first base area. The pitcher covers the bag for the out, and that's out number 1. Well, the designated hitter, number 40, getting ready to go. That is Albert Fabian, who's 2 for 3, a home run, double, 3 RBIs. So far for him today, he's hit a 3-run shot there during the bottom of the 4th inning. And that is out of play, foul, and the count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 8th, a tied ball game, 5-5. That one out of play. The count now at 0-2. Now here in this one. And that changeup is outside. It's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count, and here's the pitch. And that is outside, but they'll contest that and see where it was. And call is going to stand. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count now here in this one. And the pitch. That one high and outside is for full count now. Rosemond Verdugo getting on for San Antonio. Wind up and the pitch. And that is ball 4. And they're not going to like that one. It is. So no argument there, as the catcher for Corpus Christi tried to argue with that one, but evidently home plate umpire Jeff Andrews told him to simmer down. Rosemond Verdugo coming in now, as that one is ricocheted right off the bat of Rosemond Verdugo. And that is 0-1 the count on that one. That one right there, gloved right to the third baseman for the out. Boy, see all that dirt flying as he made a terrific stop. And boy, tell you one thing, just pretty good in that one. Here's the left fielder, Kai Murphy now. 1 for 3 in this broadcast here today. And that one is found. The count now 0-1.
Ball, that's
That one
up
high and
there.
outside. It's the count now at 1-1.
That's ball 2.
Ball 2 in the count now. 2-2. 2-1. Tight ball game here in the bottom of the 8th. And that one is out of play, found. The count now at 2-2. And that one crushed. High, deep, it is gone. 2-run shot by Kai Murphy. And the Missions take the lead.
Man, and they get pretty good on that one there, John, and so far really good.
Yeah, that is for sure there, Bob. 408 foot over 100.2 on the exit velocity. And so far, really good on that. Well, the manager comes out of the dugout, and that will do for the reliever. And so far, now for San Antonio being a 2-run shot, now it's 7-5. Hudson Leach getting the ball from the manager, and so far now that will excavate the bottom half of the 9th inning from being playable. Top of the 9th inning, Corpus Christi could get in and try to get some more runs in. And that one's a swing and miss, counting out 0-1. Castañon is 1 for 3 here for San Antonio today. This ball game near its end on a Sunday afternoon. Here's the pitch, and that one is a high flyer out of play, and it goes. And the count now 0-2. The pitch, swing and a miss. Get him down, and that ends the inning. But a 2-run shot will put San Antonio on top, and we now head for the 9th inning. Missions out 7-5. Corpus Christi catcher Walker Janek coming in 0 for 2 with sacrifice fly and RBI. Get ready to go here for Corpus Christi. 9th inning, ready to go. 9-1-2 due up in this one. And that's going to be in for a cold strike. Is the count now at 0-1. All right, so now they're going to intentionally walk this batter. So now he'll get a free pass on base. Second baseman Riley Unrode getting in. That one high fly in the air. And the center fielder gets it. So making the for the out. And that's one down, but the runner that got the free pass on base is a 9-hole batter. Center fielder Lucas Spence is 3 for 4 of the afternoon, as he will hit that one out of play, found. The count now at 0-1. Starting to see shade and clouds here in this half inning. Boy, Corpus Christi down to their final 2. Here's one, and they got him right there, and out number 2. Boy, that should have been almost a double play, and this ball game would have been over. First baseman Arturo Flores, 2 for 4 here today. 2 singles, RBI, and a run. That one is chopped foul. The count now 0-1. Tying run is Arturo Flores as he comes in. Hits that one, and right there, waits for him, and that's the ball game. And San Antonio takes it on a Sunday afternoon. And pretty good about that, as they will get things to a close with Corpus Christi. Missions have 28-23 as they close it out with the series finale. And now it's time to head to Wichita, boys. Well, great job, well done, and so far, that one pretty good. Well, the win goes to Dyson Acosta. The loss goes to Sam Carlson. As this Sunday afternoon was the greatest day as San Antonio wins a third in a row. Well, Corpus Christi goes home to take on the Arkansas Travelers there at Bayfront Park, and so far, got to say, what a day it's been. Had the sun and clouds, but most quite frankly, it was a great day as we conclude this day here at the ballpark. Well, anyway, kids getting ready to run the bases, and so far final scores are now pouring in. And the Frisco Rough Riders, boy, they are really tying up against Amarillo now, winning their 25th of the season against the Arkansas Travelers. So Arkansas now 30-20. And boy, pretty good on top of that. Well, Tulsa will keep the first place position, which that's pretty good, against Northwest Arkansas. Boy, I tell you one thing, it was a pretty good day today. It's getting into this ball game. Well, 8 teams are down, 2 are left. Wichita and Springfield, bottom half of the 4th inning on a Sunday afternoon. And, well, so far, pretty good here today, but so far, scoreless ball game. Wichita 3 runs, or actually no runs. Take those off of there. So no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. And for Springfield, 1 hit as well. Boy, and I tell you one thing, we had Wichita to take on the wind surge, and so far pretty good on that. Well, anyway, we still await for our final 2 teams to finish off. Top of the 5th inning now. As, boy, I tell you one thing, pretty good on top of that. But new week set to go as we will definitely get ready for our ball clubs. And so far, the 5-on-5 battle royale of the Missions and everybody else just going forward with the South and North rivalry matchups. Well, anyway, as we conclude this Sunday afternoon, the final score, San Antonio 7. And you look at Albert Fabian, who was the player of the game of those 2 runs that came in to propel San Antonio down in the bottom half of the 8th inning for the Missions. And got to say, a pretty good one indeed for these boys. Well, anyway, for all of us, as we say, so long until Tuesday evening, as we're up at the Port Stadium there in Wichita, Kansas. I'm Jonathan Baker, and alongside with my partner Bob and his lovely wife Ann, this has been Missions Baseball. And what I got to say is we get ready to conclude this day, and for all of us here today, boy, it's been a pretty good day, right, Bob?
Got to say, good for the Missions as they enter into a 3-game winning streak. And so far, winning all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which that was pretty good. And so far, San Antonio still in a pretty good situation as they have a 3-game winning streak against Corpus Christi, and it was a pretty good one as we close out this one.
That is for sure there, Bob. Well, anyway, our final score 7-5 as we close out this one. So 7 runs on 12 hits, 1 error for San Antonio. For Corpus Christi, 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Sam Carlson is the loss, and the win goes to Dyson Acosta as we close it out. For everybody here, we say so long until we meet in Wichita here in this one. So for all of us here, have a good week, and see y'all on Tuesday, June 9th. We take on the visiting Frisco Rough Riders.